Hey folks, welcome back. My name's Alan Parks.
And I'm Mark Larson.
And we are
the Smart Fellers!
Whee! Okay. Hey, today's video we're going to talk about grooving without a drummer. Mark and I frequently work without a drummer. I would probably actually say mostly work without a drummer. So we've developed a really nice way to groove without drums.
We are the drums.
We are the drums.
We become the drums.
We become the drums. So we're going to look at three different kinds of beats that we commonly do. And generally they fall within the jazz swing sort of genre. Ish. So to start out, we're going to talk about 2-beat grooves. Now, on my end of things, there's two ways that I can play grooves, and that's either just straight ahead pizzicato or slap. So naturally, they both sound different, so I'm going to be addressing both of those kind of things in there. All right, so maybe you can address why you're playing acoustic guitar rather than electric guitar.
I'm playing acoustic guitar because it sounds more like a snare drum.
Yeah, it's a little more percussive of an instrument.
It is.
But...
Well, anyway, that's how it works for me. It becomes a snare drum. He's the bass drum. I'm the snare drum.
Well, when I'm slapping, I get a little of the snare thing going in there too. But
True. Yeah,
to be seen.
Right. Well, they're working together then.
But I mean, even naturally, it seems like it's a more percussive kind of instrument. That's why you're going to see acoustic guitar for flamenco, despite it being, more traditional kind of music.
Right.
But they're playing it drum-like as well.
Yeah.
That's very much a drum kind of idea, concept for them to be playing with. So,
well, one more thing about this. Some of you may be saying, "Well, that's not an acoustic guitar," but it is. It came to me as an acoustic guitar, and I have put electric strings on it, but it still has the acoustic qualities about the sound of the instrument.
Yeah, I mean, even more so than, say, like a hollow body jazz guitar.
Yeah.
Even more so than
because it sounds more like an electric guitar.
Yeah.
Than this
well, the
does.
thing is that's actually, it came as an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
No pickups on it whatsoever.
Right.
You put them all on there.
Sure.
So you're getting a little of the quality of an electric guitar because you've got the magnetic pickup and you've got the piezo pickup.
And I'm blending the two. Also.
And blending the two.
Yeah.
So you're getting a little bit of a different tone quality. But on the same note, this is an acoustic instrument too. But I've got pickups as well.
Exactly.
So they're kind of the same like that.
Right.
I mean, we can play acoustically. It's just, this is better.
It is.
It's just much better.
We've been doing this for a long time. This is what we've come to.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. So, we'll tell you what, let's play a 2-beat groove.
All right.
And we'll talk about what we're doing to make it actually sound groovy.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Okay, so I played strictly pizzicato on that. I didn't do any slapping. But as you can see, as Mark said earlier, I'm playing bass drum, so I'm playing on beats 1 and 3, and he's playing predominantly on 2 and 4.
Exactly.
Right, but
I may be hitting a little bit on the 1 and the 3, but it's very gentle.
Yeah, and not even very distinct, really. It's almost a muted note. Almost.
Well,
it comes through.
Your note buries mine anyway.
Well,
so
yeah,
it doesn't really matter. It's
exactly.
It's more like a placekeeper than anything.
Right.
So if I'm just going, I could screw up because I've got a lot of other things going on while we're playing.
And there's a lot of room to mess up if you're just doing that. Even if you weren't doing anything else, there's a lot of room to mess up. And I'm playing all 4 beats really too, because I may start my note on beat 1, but I'm ending it on beat 2. So if you want to listen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3. So the idea being I'm ending my note rhythmically as well as starting my note rhythmically. Mm-hmm. So
you're playing a full quarter note.
A full quarter note ending on the beats that are rests.
Right.
So instead of just being indistinct, if I just played
we're playing Johnny Cash.
Yeah, it's not very groovy. It's just not very groovy.
Right.
So we're keeping it tight and we're keeping it rhythmic, but we're listening to each other the whole time. Now, Mark's the singer in our group, and so he's having to play rhythm guitar and sing at the same time.
And some fills here and there.
Yeah, a little bit.
And accents. And...
So it's up to me to follow Mark's rhythm, and the nice thing is we've developed a really good sense of time by not playing with drums for so long.
Yeah.
You develop good time, but we're conscious about it. So if he, plays a note just slightly behind or something, I'll adjust to that. Or, vice versa. If he speeds up a little bit, I can adjust to that. So we're always listening, really, really listening. As a matter of fact, sometimes we listen to the detriment of being entertaining. We just sort of get, straight faces. So we're concentrating so hard on getting that groove right that we're not, doing the song and dance so much.
Yeah,
so,
but the fact that we're listening to each other so intently, kind of second nature.
Yeah.
That if somebody goes somewhere else for a second, the other person follows.
Yeah,
it just happens automatically.
Right, exactly. So when that drunk gets in your face and starts talking to you while you're trying to play,
just ignore him.
Oh,
if you can.
Yeah, it's not so easy. So hey, let's play that same thing, but let me play a slap line.
Yeah.
Underneath that. So what you're going to hear is the back slap on 2 and 4. Let's start together. 1, 2. G sharp?
No, I don't know what that was.
Well,
it came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere. It wasn't you. So
I was trying to take it another direction.
Oh, was that it? Well, I didn't follow you. So there you could see I'm getting the slap on beat 2, and we're not even staying exactly in strict up down straight rhythm. It's a little bit. It swings just a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's got kind of a lope, kind of a vibe to it.
Yeah.
So, also we've developed the ability to slow down just a notch or speed up just a notch, which happens. Sometimes you start too fast. It's like, oh my God, bring it down to where it belongs.
Or you get excited.
Or you have too much coffee, like I have. So there's a 2-beat. Really, throughout this whole thing, the big common line is going to be listening. And it's not that we're even envisioning a drum set in our heads.
No.
We're listening to each other, and we've been doing this a long time, so we don't have to think about it much, which makes it hard to describe. It's like, oh, we just do it, But be mindful of where you're placing your beats. Are they a little behind the beat? Are they a little ahead of the beat as relative to each other? If we both play behind the beat, we're going to slow down. If we both play ahead of the beat, it's going to speed up. But it's just a matter of where the attack on your instrument is. You hit a guitar, and the higher notes and the smaller strings, shorter strings, are going to react faster than, big bass strings that weigh a lot and are really long. So I have to be a little bit on top of things in order to play straight on the beat.
The note tends to swell up.
Exactly right. If you look at a waveform on a recording program, you'll see that it grows and then tapers.
Right.
So you have to...
let's say there's not as much attack.
Right. It's not as hard of an attack as, say, you're going to get on a guitar. Mm-hmm. So, it's sort of, you learn subconsciously where that lays so that the bass stays in the right groove. And of course, when you're slapping, you do get a much more immediate attack because you get that percussive hit right at the beginning of it.
And explain, why is that happening? What's it, physically, what's happening there when you do that?
Oh, the pop?
Yeah.
The pop there? Well, I'm pulling the string off of the fingerboard away, and then I'm letting it snap back and actually hit the fingerboard. Mm-hmm. And that gets that real heavy attack. And you can overdo it, and it gets ugly, especially lower strings.
Yeah.
So
you hit it a little softer.
Yeah, just the key is to do just enough to get it to make that noise. And sometimes when I'm slapping, it looks like I'm not doing much, but you get a lot of sound. You know?
Yeah, you're getting 4 notes out of each measure.
Right.
Right.
Exactly right. And the idea is to get those even and groovy like a drummer does. Because that's pretty much what I'm doing is playing drums. I'm playing hand drums with notes as well. So, okay, so
Don't need a cajon.
Okay, so moving on to 4 beats per measure, a regular swing beat, for instance. So let's play a little bit of a 4 beat.
Okay.
2, 3, good. So you get the idea. So a 4 beat on guitar, what are you doing differently with guitar?
So one thing I didn't mention before was that it's this constant squeezing on every beat. So it shortens the note. If I just went, it's like legato.
So that's giving you a gap between your notes, a gap of silence.
Right, but I'm also playing each beat and
So
playing them
1,
equally.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Right, and so what I'm doing is I'm actually not leaving a gap. So I'm playing legato, but I'm not being shy with the actual attack of the note. I'm giving it a nice firm attack, but I'm not leaving a space of silence between the notes. They're connected. And that gives it that smooth flowing feel. Now, it's hard to play. I mean, you can play a 4 beat like you were and sound very rhythmic, and you can hear the swing in there. Now, on bass, you can't really. You know, you can. So I guess
you have to imagine it. The hi-hat in there.
Yeah, right. It takes a little bit more imagination to hear the swing in that. But there is a way to place the notes so that they hit just that nice sweet spot of a groove. So you can still groove, but it's just really just pretty much straight ahead quarter notes.
Yeah.
Until you hit a fill or a rhythmic device of some sort, and then that can swing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just a straight ahead 4 beat, I guess. And that's a pretty common technique, what you're doing.
Yeah.
To get that nice swingy 4 beat. So it's the combination of the 2 swings.
Right.
Yeah, would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to one more, which is Latin. There's a lot of styles of Latin. Just talk to a drummer who studied them. And boy, yeah, and sometimes I can get lost. It's like, where's the one? So we play kind of a generic Latin kind of thing.
Yeah.
So let's play a little of that.
How'd you put that in there?
Yeah, of course. So, on my part, it's almost a 2 beat part. But what we're doing is straight 8th notes. Latin is almost always straight 8th notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and not dun da dum ba dum ba dum. 1. So you can hear I'm putting in ghost notes. I'm putting in muted notes. So and a little
And it's loud.
right. So there's a little of that. So I'm really pretty much playing 2 beat. Now I could play 2, 3, 4, 1, right? So that's a common, and so those are pretty common Latin bass grooves for our sort of generic Latin vibe that we do. How about you? What are you getting?
So I'm not really using the squeezing method where I'm squeezing each note out. I'm mostly holding the chord. My right hand, my rhythm hand, is handling the muting.
So you're palm muting on some of this stuff.
Well, sometimes I lift off and sometimes I palm.
It's a combination, sure.
Yeah, it is a combo.
And a lot of emphasis on the 1 and 3 really, rather than the 2 and 4.
I'm going 2 and 2 and 2 and
right.
2 and.
That's kind of a reggae vibe almost. It is. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm noticing is you're actually playing kind of full chords on 1 and 3, but 2 and 4 are short accented kind of things. That's kind of what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So it's sort of it's kind of flipped upside down for you a little bit, isn't it?
In a way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still, yeah, my accent's more on the 1 and the 3. You're right.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And there's your snare. But
Yep. Snare.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of other muted notes and such, and that sort of adds to the whole vibe of playing the syncopated kind of sound.
Right. And this particular song, I'm throwing in some little licks in there too, just to keep it interesting, because we got 2 instruments here.
Yeah, it can get boring fast.
So we try to do anything we can to make it interesting.
Yeah, or make each other laugh.
Well,
there's a lot of that going on. So there's some food for thought. And I noticed one of the common themes going through here is muted notes.
They're just as important.
Yeah, so don't underestimate being able to mute a note. So I mean, palm muting, left hand muting. I've got that's left-handed muting.
Yeah, are you muting with your fretting hand?
Yes, I'm muting with my left hand. And then still muting. I'm muting those steps.
Right, your hand is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Even if I'm just playing open strings.
Yeah.
They're
important to learn how to mute with both hands.
Yeah. And if you add muting into your playing can get a lot more rhythmic and a lot more interesting, and practice with a metronome.
Definitely.
Yeah, and work on keeping your groove steady. Now, another trick to staying steady in your tempo is to be thinking smaller rhythmic notes. So instead of thinking quarter notes, you might want to think eighth notes.
Yeah.
Or triplets, or 16th notes. Especially if you're playing a slow tempo. So if we're playing like, instead of thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or 1 E and a 2 E and a 3. So think smaller increments, and you're gonna stay in tempo a little bit better.
So like for this song.
Stay on tempo a lot better rather than drifting around.
Yeah, keep that clock going in your brain. Yep.
And it actually helps just to hum that to yourself in random moments.
Yeah.
Help you go to sleep.
Okay. Whatever works.
If you're trying to go to sleep, it might help. Okay, so I guess that's it. A little quick tutorial about being groovy.
Yeah.
And these things also work with drummers. Now, if you're playing with a drummer, we might not throw in as many muted notes and rhythmic devices as we do just playing by ourselves. But they're still there. I think the training of doing it still carries over to when we play with drums.
I find that when we play with a drummer, I find it difficult to switch back to the other way, where it's a little more smooth and not so many notes,
Yeah, me too.
But when the drummer's there, you can sort of just let go.
And that's his job.
Exactly. Yeah, kind of let him do his job, not
not force your way into it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And your drummer will be a lot happier.
Yes, your drummer will thank you. Okay, so I guess that about does it. So once again, my name's Alan Parks.
And I'm Mark Larson.
And we are
the Smart Fellers!
Yay! Oh, hit like.
Oh, that's right. And ring the bell.
And subscribe.
All that stuff.
And leave comments. That'd be nice. Cool. Do that again. Caffeine's gonna got me a little bit weird.
Uh-oh.
That's all right. It's all right. If I start frothing at the mouth, you might want to let me know.
Alan?
Oh, all right.